Hey there, welcome to my yard. Over the course of the next few weeks, I hope to once a week give you a tour of my yard so you can see as my yard is coming to life this spring. It's currently the end of January. We've had a mild January, though a very cold December. And I'm very eager to get things going, get my garden planted, work on some projects. I have a number of things in the works. Always more things planned than time allows. I do have a day job, so it limits the number of days a week that I can get out here. But join me each week, and we'll take a look and see how the yard comes together. At the end of this video, I'll provide some pictures of last year's, just so you can kind of get an idea of what the yard has been like. Though today you'll find that, well, it's January. Everything's still dead. So there's not a lot of excitement here. It's just kind of a dismal area to be. So let's find out. Really? All right, well, apparently I can't flip my screen around while I'm recording, so here we go. Last year I planted elephant garlic here, and it's coming up. I don't know, I was told it takes a couple years for that to grow, just to leave it in the ground for a couple years, so we'll see how that works out. I am excited to see that the ranunculus that I planted a year ago and it bloomed is coming up, as well as some of my spring bulbs, some daffodils, some crocuses. I also have some tulips in there, hyacinth, blueberry bushes, what's left of our strawberry patch. It's seen better days. Remnants of random projects that we were working on or hoping to get to, or plans that changed along the way. That I hope to all get cleaned up. This is my apple tree. Now, I learned two things recently. One, that this is a crab apple, and two, that apple trees should be pruned this time of year so they get fruit. But seeing this as a crab apple, I think I'm going to prune that thing right to the ground and perhaps plant a fig tree. Thoughts? I don't know. Not sure. Haven't talked to the wife about that yet. Not sure what she would think about that. So try to do some of it in a partnership. Other things, you know, you do it and then you ask for forgiveness later. Random stuff everywhere. I have some of the nicest growing moss, I think, in all of the Northwest. This is the softest yard. Nothing but moss. No grass. I had grass once. That was over there. I covered it all up a couple weeks ago. My patio, covered portion, I built a couple years ago with some great friends. The key is find people who know things and have the tools and partner with them. It'll make the project go a lot smoother. These are my banana trees, not the kind that you would eat. They're Masu Bijou bananas. It's possible they could fruit, but I read somewhere that you should put a couple feet of straw around them in the winter. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that again, because now all I have is straw growing, or wheat, or whatever it is. I don't know. This is where my canna lilies grow. I dug them up this year, though. Here in our area in the Northwest, we're in a growing zone 8B. I'm told from the research I've done, I don't need to dig them up. However, I didn't feel there was really good drainage there, so I dug them up last fall. I've added more soil, amended it in hopes to make a better draining area. So this year I'll plant them, and then I'll just leave them there and see what happens. My biggest project this spring is setting up some dahlia gardens. I visited a dahlia farm, Swan Island, down in Oregon, September probably, Fell in love with the dahlias. Ordered way too many, I'm sure. And they're going to arrive in a couple months. So I've gotten some raised gardens. I'm letting the mulch here settle, and then I'll level it out a little bit better so they don't look all haphazard and funky, and get them filled with some soil so that when the my dahlias arrive, I have somewhere to plant them. Imagine in the summer, this area has giant elephant ear plants growing. That's what I'm imagining. That's what I had last year. They took a while to get going. I had a late start. This whole area from the greenhouse across, including the fire pit and the area around it, the bananas, that was all grass last year. I came in and with a sod cutter, took it all out, brought in some soil, moved some roses over here. They're not doing much, it's still early. I probably pruned those too early. Planted an artichoke last summer. Actually planted two, that one and that one in that black pot. We'll see what happens. I think they'll come back. Maybe get some artichokes, or if not now, some flowers. My greenhouse, very pleased with my greenhouse. I built this. This was my COVID year project. However, I started it before anybody knew anything about COVID. I've got an angel trumpet in here, two of them actually. They're still blooming. I've trimmed these back a couple times, but it still keeps blooming. And I just keep all of my patio plants, fuchsia baskets, geraniums and whatnot. It's been a couple years I've had these geraniums. My goal is this spring to repot them in the same pots. I might separate them a little bit, but split them up. Then down in that corner I've got my begonias. I'm gonna start watering those so they can start growing. As soon as it really gets nice, I want to have them out, so my patio can come to life. This was an angel trumpet I traded some cuttings for. This is a pink one, where mine are yellow. One of the things I'm going to attempt this year, I'm told in our zone I can plant that in the ground and it'll come back every year. So once the ground gets warm enough, I think that's going to be my test subject. I'm going to put that in the ground and see if it comes back the following year. Those palm trees, these little baby palm trees I got, somebody on OfferUp down in Oregon when I was visiting my kid. I saw an ad, so I picked these up. I'm going to leave them grow in pots probably for another year. And then I'm going to try to grow, and don't freak out. I know everybody, as soon as you tell them you're growing this, people just get really excited. It's pampas grass, so my goal is to plant one. I highly doubt it's going to become that thing that's going to overtake my yard. I have other invasive plants that I hope to put in my yard that will probably better do that. But if you're in any sort of gardening group, or just out in the course of talking with people, as soon as you bring up pampas grass or the idea that you want pampas grass, you might as well be talking about bamboo. And people will just lose their mind because, well, one, you're gonna cut your arm off when you deal with it because it has sharp leaves. Oh, it's super invasive. Oh my gosh, that stuff is just gonna spread everywhere. You just have no idea how bad it's gonna get. And yet, when I drive around, we've lived in this area for about 5 years now, and there's one pampas grass bush at the end of the road. It hasn't multiplied. They don't care for it. It hasn't overtaken the community. There isn't a noxious weed control officer out here monitoring it. So I don't know. People have the same idea about bamboo, but I guess it all just gets to the point of where are you going to put it, what kind, how are you going to plant it, and how are you going to care for it. I don't know if you can see these sticks. There's one right there, see, right there. There is a hollyhock down there that was coming through, and one coming through down there, as well as down over here, some hollyhocks. I had those for a couple years now. You know, they're kind of, antique white, yellowish in color. not very exciting. I'm not a big yellow flower sort of person. I like bold colors. Oh, and check out this. Doesn't my yard just look amazing? Don't you want my yard? These are remnants of moles. There. Oh, don't forget, they're over here too. Everywhere. I've been fighting moles. Seems like forever. End of December, though, I got with the company that comes out and does our maintenance for, you know, ants and spiders and whatnot. You know, they pest control people. They came out and they had a machine and they used a fogger. And I'm going on, let's see, tomorrow will be a month, and I've had 0 activity. Also, you can see I haven't been very active. I haven't been out here to clean this up yet, but I have all kinds of dips and holes in my yard. This is my patio currently. Like I said, it's a mess. I need to get the pressure washer out here, but you know, we still got a good couple months of rain, so not like we're going to be out here barbecuing on the patio. Herb box. Mostly dead. A little bit of life there. How's that? The oregano. Parsley. Chives has a little bit going on. Got to figure out what to do with this lavender. That was a project last spring for the kids' wedding, but they weren't at a point to be viable for what we wanted it to be. So the few that I kept, I put in pots, and well, now they're in my yard, so I've got to find somewhere to do that. My fire pit, I collect random stuff all winter, so I thought today'd be a good day to burn that out. Here, these aren't dead. Hey, but look at that. Something's been eating at it. Not sure. I don't know, what do you think eats that? Rabbits? Maybe. Gotta find a way to make that stop. But you know what? Once they start growing, if they leave them alone, I'm okay. I will live with the squirrels. I will live with the rabbits. But if you're a mole, you've got to go. I can't have moles. My corn patch. This is where I have my cornfield every year. This year I'm going to, as soon as it warms up just a little bit more, I'm going to plant some other vegetables here that can be harvested before the corn needs to be planted. And then I just have to find a way to keep the corn safe from the other animals that like to visit. All right, well, there you go. That's my yard. I've got quite a few things to do yet. But hey, you know, keep in mind, it will not affect your life at all if you hit that like button. And if I can get a few people to subscribe, a few more people, I'd really like to do some of my projects by going live, so I can interact with people while I'm, I don't know, planting my tomatoes, or working on dividing my dahlias here in a couple months. I do have some dahlias that I had in pots last year that I need to divide, and I think that would be a lot of fun. And also could be interesting just to chat with random people. Keep in mind also, I'm out here in growing zone 8B. So some of you who are sitting here in January with 2 feet of snow outside, bummer for you. That is not me this year, nor is it me most years. But on the upside, maybe you're not listening to a barking dog all day. But we'll see. Let's see what happens between now and next week when you come visit my yard again. Any comments I'll try to address in the next video, or I'll go ahead and respond to the comments in the feed. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day.